there's a thing that they say is an issue in the black community, which is young girls having sex with, older men, what they call child molestation. So, Brother Roy, I want to ask Brother Roy, I don't know if you study African history, right? In America...
The Americas. Canada has a countrywide law of 16 as the age of consent. Most of the US is 16 or 18, with all of the West Coast being 18, except for my state, Washington. Only a handful of states are set in between the two at 17.
If you was born in New York City, let me say you know that. I was born in New York City.
The legal age that a girl, like a 17-year-old girl, can have sex with anybody she chooses. A 50-year-old man, 60-year-old man, and it's not a crime for a 17-year-old girl to have sex with a 50-year-old man. But if a 16-year-old girl have sex with a 50-year-old man, that's a crime, and that's child molestation. So now, what are your views on child molestation? Is there an answer to it? Is there...
My thing on this is that me personally, I've always wanted an older woman. Okay? Because a younger woman, to me, never could do the things that I fantasize about or whatever. Okay? And that has something to do with lust. So anybody that is older than someone that's much, much younger than them, to me, that's pornography and all that. But in a sense, none of it's supposed to happen, and because the only reason you're supposed to have sex is to have children.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's what man turned it into a lustful thing.
Okay, so what do we do? Do you think that there's an issue with child molestation in the black community?
Of course, and it's not just the black community, it's all communities.
Right, so what can we do about it?
What we can do about it is teach our children. See, only thing we can do at this age is teach our youth.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
There's nothing in our generation that we can change.
Okay.
It's too far gone. So we can teach our youth for the future generation to respond to the lessons that we have taught them.
Teach the youth what?
Teach them what to do, to obey their parents, to believe in God, and to talk to God.
What about sex?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
When should they have sex? When should your daughter have sex? When should
my daughter, from what I believe in my heart, my daughter should have sex when she's old enough to be able to maintain for her child until that child is old enough to maintain for itself.
Right. So you're saying financially stable?
Financially, mentally, physically, everything.
Now let me ask you, brother, as far as the Bible, does the Bible give any regulations or any kind of anything on the age that a young girl should have sex?
Well, I'm not sure about the age.
Right.
But the Bible does say that when she's ripe.
Right.
Right.
That means when she's able to do.
Now, what's right?
That's real easy. When a fruit that grows on a tree is ripe to eat, that means that it's mature and it's ready for you to consume.
Okay.
That's right.
But what age is that?
Now, also I wanted to say this is that I would like my daughter that God gives me to raise to have sex when she meets her husband and they get married. I would love that to happen, but it doesn't always happen like that.
Right.
But that's what he would love.
All right? Because that's what God says.
Right.
All right? That's his rules.
So what if you got a guy or people who say, well...
Now let me continue with this.
Right. What age is right?
Let me continue with this. If you're an older guy, right, you gotta remember, we do things differently than it was done in the Bible when it comes to marriage, all right? in the Bible, marriage was given sometimes without even knowing who that person was that you were going to marry. All right? We're living in a society where we get to pick and choose
Right.
and fall in love,
Right.
and then we can get married.
Right.
It's a whole different society.
Right.
Now, who am I to tell a woman what age she has to be before she feels like she's ready to get married? If she's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, some women get married at 30, 35. All right? If she's ready to get married and she found the husband that she wants to be for the rest of her life, we have a consenting age for sex.
Do you agree with that
And I
consenting age?
think, it's the law. It's the law of the land.
If you had your own land,
Once again,
what would be the age? If we could start our land tomorrow, our nation, what would be the legal age there for a girl to have sex?
I believe in my heart that she's mature.
I like 21.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I like 21.
At
but
21,
maturity has a lot to do with it also.
Because the teenage years are going to be teenage years, and you're still developing you. When you're 21, you're mostly to be in the frame that you're going to be for the rest that sets for the course of the rest of your life. So I agree with him on that, and I would say the proper age would be 21.
I mean, I would like it to be.
Now, but also...
That's based on American thought, 21.
No, it's based on how we perceive how the maturity is. Just like what we were saying about the grapes.
In America makes that 21 age the legal age, and I think your thing is based on that. Right.
No, not for marriage. It's for drinking.
21
is the legal age for drinking,
right,
not marriage.
Okay, that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is America makes 21 a legal age. So what I'm saying is...
Okay, I'll give you an example.
What university... Hold up. You say you deal with nature. In nature, what about 21 is any special from any other number?
Because like I said, when I was 18, when I was 19, I was still wild.
A lot of people wild when they 21.
You asked me about me.
Okay.
So my feeling is that when you're 21, you're basically you're finished. You're on your way, your path. You're on this path now. Before 21, you're on a whole bunch of paths. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know who you want to do it with. You don't want to whatever. At 21, I believe the maturity of your frame of mind is that, okay, I can settle down and do this.
That's a junior in college, a junior. That's young.
Let me add.
21s make a whole lot of, and they're not even full grown. You're really not full grown until you're 25, 26, right?
26.
So that's what I would say is a universal number. Because that's something that's universal, applies to all of us. 26, 25, between 25 and 28, that's when you're full grown.
If we're going to look at marriage as far as generations ago, it wasn't based on how old the women were. It was based on who can afford and what they had to give for her, and how can he take care of her.
Right.
So yeah, you got to look at it a whole lot of different ways. Where we're no longer living where a man is quote unquote selling his daughter, all right, to another person. All right, a man is now walking his daughter down the aisle, hopefully, and giving her away to her husband. All right, so yes, if you, like in the Muslim religion, if you can afford to take care of 3, 4 wives, you can have that.
Right.
All right, but our religion and what the Bible says is that each man have his own wife.
Now, isn't it true that back in those biblical days, in ancient biblical days, them girls were actually young. Them girls were 14, 13, 14, 15. When they had, true or false, when they got their period, they was considered ripe.
They was considered a woman, yes. Once they had that meant, all that meant, hold on, all that meant, now, I'm going to explain to the right part. All that meant is that they was able to bear children, which is what made them ripe.
And they was able to have sex, right?
Well, if they're able to bear children,
that's what they
now.
But the ripe, hold on, the ripe part is this. You gotta remember, if you eat a peach that didn't cultivate to the color or to the texture that it's supposed to be, and you bite into it, it's gonna be bitter. But if that peach is ripe, and it's ripe, which is a woman that's having a menstrual, that means that she's now ripe to bear children.
So in your opinion, is it morally right or wrong to have sex with a girl with a period? It's 13, 12. Is it morally right or wrong? It's wrong?
It's wrong. it's wrong because we know it's wrong. All right, she's a child. All right, she's a child. It's wrong. All right, it is really wrong. She's
What
just
about-
learning her body.
Okay.
She's learning to take care of her body. She's learning how to do certain things. She's still in school. It is wrong in all aspects of life.
Okay.
All right.
And can I
But
interject
so
in
the
that?
Bible, what if Mary,
What about me?
the mother of Jesus,
Sure. What about her?
what if she was 13 when she had Jesus?
That's a hypothetical. That requires no answer.
I've heard that though.
No, you heard. It's a hypothetical. You
I've
said
read
what
that.
if.
Right.
You did not.
Now,
You just
what
was
if
13.
what if she was 15,
That's
14?
a hypothetical. I
No
can't. I'm
answer
not
for that.
touching that.
You're not touching that.
Not a hypothetical because it's a trap.
Right. It's a trap.
Of course it is.
But that would be very
Because then
interesting.
you're saying that God is wrong for what He did.
I'm not saying he's wrong
Of
because
course
you
you
said.
are. If I answer that,
Wait, brother, no. Let me correct this. I'm not saying
If I
God.
answer your
Wait a minute,
hypothetical
brother. Don't
that
do
he
that
was 13
because that's not fair. What you did. You said it was wrong.
right?
I didn't say it was wrong.
But
So
you-
don't do that
You
to
said
me.
that you heard that Mary had a baby when she was 13.
So by your standards,
Right.
it would be wrong.
It's definitely
Your
wrong.
standards.
It's definitely
Okay,
wrong.
but don't say me. I didn't say it was
You gotta
wrong.
watch your questioning.
I'm still, the whole subject, I'm still analyzing the whole subject because it's a deep subject. A lot of these ancient cultures like ancient Egypt,
But let me ask you a question.
ancient African
Let me ask you a
cultures,
question.
the girls was having sex when they was young. When they was 14, they was having sex. So that's why I say
There's
I'm
a
up in the air with it. I'm still
There's
analyzing.
a difference between. Hold on.
Put it
There's
like
a
that.
difference between having sex
Right?
than being bought to have sex.
You said brought?
Sure,
Right,
they
'cause
was
that's
bought.
what they was bought.
They was bought.
Bought?
And they would
They-
bring
they
their
was bought and
bring their
paid for.
daughters
Okay.
to
All right,
to
and whoever purchased them did what they wanted with them.
Okay.
Just like with our young people, our black people, when they was young, the white man that enslaved us, he would go into the room and have sex with the young kids when he wanted to. Was that right?
Okay.
Now another thing that I
But
also
at
have
the
to
time, hold on, at the time, that was considered his property.
So what's the solution for today? Do you think it's an issue in the black community, child molestation?
Well, I don't really
or
see I don't
underage
really
girls
see-
having sex
This is the thing.
with men.
I don't really see a lot of black people molesting black people. That's not something that predominantly we do.
Okay.
All right, that's
of an
more.
island thing.
What do you mean? You saying older black men don't have
No,
sex with young?
But if an older black man has sex with an 18, 19-year-old woman, that's not molestation.
Okay,
She's
right.
consenting.
What if you have sex with a 15, 16?
Well, that's molestation. But we don't in our people we don't hear a lot of that.
You don't hear it, but does
I'm
that
not
mean
saying that it
right.
doesn't happen, but what we do hear a lot of is our young women getting pregnant by young men.
Okay.
All right, that's something that we need to discuss. Actually, it's not a lot of older men knocking up these young girls.
Okay, so is it okay for a 15-year-old girl to have sex with a 15-year-old boy?
That's a hard one.
Okay.
I had sex at 15.
I was younger than that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I can't put rules on people that's coming up that didn't apply to my life when I was a child.
Because what I'm saying is, as far as underage or what they call child molestation, young girls 13, 14, 15 having sex, and a lot of times incest is in the same family sometimes.
That's
maybe.
molestation.
Right. So the thing is, these girls are growing up, and they traumatized. A lot of black women might be traumatized. They've been raped.
Right. Well, that would traumatize.
And they live in a life. They have issues. So that's why I'm asking this. Is there anything we could do about it?
Okay,
or-
I'm gonna interject and I'm gonna say about what I was saying before about the times. Now, in those days, in those times, what were a woman, a female's responsibilities? The responsibilities of today grow more farther than what it was before. Now, back in the days, they would have had their own land. They needed to cultivate their land.
Right.
They needed to feed each other.
Right.
They needed to wash each other's stuff.
Right.
And so a girl, when she was able to do these things,
Right.
she was considered a wife. Because she was able to do these things.
Right.
Now our children. They go to school. They're at that age. They don't have to write. They don't have to. They don't right. They don't have
Playing
the same
an economic game.
Right. So now mentally, they're not as mature as them that they were there, because it was their duty to make sure that he was fed. It was their duty. These children you don't eat, that's on you. I'm worried about myself.
A 15-year-old boy back then, a 15, 16-year-old boy could go make his own hut with his girl, make his own hut, kill his own animal, whatever, and feed his family.
And so
today we playing the economic game where it takes time.
Right. So that's that's another reason why I say that you have to have your relationship with God, because God will tell you what's right.
But we the original man, we the original black man, so we should be able to master any system, right?
Well, we do master it.
Okay, so we in the economic capitalist system, we should be able to master this. Political system, we should master this.
Overcome it.
No, we should be able to overcome any system.
The only
That's
way,
the difference. That's the difference.
The only way that you overcome a system is by throwing it down.
And
you gotta throw it down.
Hold on, America was built on violence.
Yep.
Right?
All right. So the only way that it's going to go to another place is going to be through violence.